Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag Sidequest. Year wrap up 2024. Been a year. But I'm your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. With me, our moderate gamer, Keith. Hello. And returning with us, you may remember her. She's been on a few episodes. The third co-host, Liz the Noob.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back. But 2024. So I figured I could start this episode with, I guess, some news. But I figured I should tell everyone that I'm really sorry to say, but unfortunately, I think we're going to continue the podcast in 2025. I know there's a lot of people out there that probably want us to quit, but we figure we got nothing else better to do. So we'll keep doing this.
It's still playing in my head, even from the first take.
But yeah, 2024. What a year. Liz has been gone, obviously, for a while. You know, if you're a new listener, welcome. I don't know why you're starting this episode, but Liz, you know, me and Liz had a baby this year, so... Well, Liz had the baby. I participated.
I actually was very surprised that I played 21 games this year. I thought it was less.
How many did we play?
43. Keith, there's one game that you didn't play, Halo 3, I believe.
Yeah.
Besides that, so you did 42. Well, I guess technically one more than that because you did Steam. The Steam
Yeah, we
game,
did Steam World Dig.
2 in one episode.
Yeah. Do you want to call out Keith now?
The what?
About his scoring? Not being clear?
No, because I did like the the usual with like the averages and all that kind of stuff. And you guys went wild with your scoring. It wasn't just Keith.
Well, no, you were like, can you listen to this episode? Is Keith giving this a game or a pass?
Oh,
and then you were like, what is his score? I don't know.
What game is
it was the year of it's kind of a game, kind of a pass.
Yeah, but your Frontier, you didn't give a direct answer. One episode, I think, was your fault. I think your score actually got edited out. But there's a lot of where you aren't quite sure of what you're giving a game or a pass.
I'm used to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's not new for me.
But yeah, so obviously we've been doing this every year now. We do our end of the year wrap up in review. You know, talk about the games that we played this year. Give out some of our great awards. What do we call the awards? The Grabbies?
Do we come up with a name?
I thought we called them the Grabbies, but it just sounded really gross. I didn't really care for the name.
Yeah, I don't think we should call them the Grabbies.
And we had a year to come up with something else, and we did it. I'm glad that I have less games to choose from, but I'm still going to be really indecisive. I just want to put that out there.
Well, I want to start off. I know, Liz, you kind of wrote down the categories, but I want to start off with the first negative award. And that was, what was your biggest disappointment this year, guys? So, hold on, Keith, put the list up, if you would. So if you're watching on our video, you can see our full list. We have it on our Twitter as well. Obviously, we played 43 games. It didn't make sense for us to just rattle off some of these games that we played this year. But also, as we're going through this list, please leave a comment on our Spotify or YouTube. Tell us some of your favorite games that you found on Game Pass this year, because we always love to hear from you listeners.
Is that too
little?
yes.
Who wants to go first? Should I go first as the hard?
You're volunteering,
I mean,
Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you were very excited
We'll
about
do round
this.
robin, so Keith, then we'll go first, and you, Liz, next.
Oh, I don't like that, but yeah.
Oh, man. Biggest disappointment. Okay, well, I'm going to do that as an honorable mention. One of my biggest disappointments, people are going to get mad at me. I think I might give it to Still Wakes the Deep. I thought the game was fine. I wanted more out of it. I wanted to have a scarier game. I wanted more with the environment and the people. But Still Wakes the Deep, it did not connect with me, which really just bummed me out. It's not, yeah, I think I'm going to give it that, because it's just, anytime I think about that game, and it makes me sad, because I've met so many people that are like, that game was great. I loved that game. It hit so many marks for me. And it just bums me out, because I wanted to feel that same way. But when I played it, the credits rolled, and I was just like, eh. So I think I might give it to Still Wakes the Deep. For honorable mention, this is going to be kind of a hot take. If you listen to it, you would not think this would be an honorable mention, but I'm going to go with Tectonica.
Oh my gosh, you're still playing that game.
And this is what I think is crazy. When you listen to this episode, I love Tectonica, okay? I do love this game. And I loved it so much. And it's also one of those things that I'm hating so much because of it. I still haven't finished the game. Literally, the ending is such a slog. It is really bad. And that is why I'm doing it as an honorable mention for a disappointment, because I love this game. I'm playing a ton of it. And just the ending, I'm like, just let me roll credits.
Is it the game, or are you disappointed in yourself that you're wasting your time playing this game?
No, because I'm still having fun playing it.
But you complain
that has
every
no
time
achievements.
you put it on.
But because that's the thing. I'm like, cool.
Hundreds
if I
of
beat
hours.
I'll literally have all the achievements once the achievements pop. Like, I'll have them all. Everything will be good. It's just the ending. Literally, is like, oh, you're about to win. You're about to win. No, you got to do that all over again. But we want double the amount of the thing. You're about to hit it. No, double it again. It literally just keeps doubling the final item I need. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Just end this game. It feels like a placeholder. I feel like they have a different ending, but they're like, we're just going to keep making you do this.
You're the only person who's still playing it thinking they're going to get something. Everybody else has quit. And the people monitoring the game are like, this guy's nuts.
What is it? It's like,
We're never releasing it.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome.
It's like the episode of Community.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm going to give it that. So Weeks Deep is still my number one. Go ahead, Keith. What is yours?
I mean, I'm glad you said it, because I definitely overlooked that on the list, but I don't think there's really any question for me that I have to agree with you, and Still Wakes the Deep being at least my biggest disappointment. As you said, fine in ways, but I remember seeing the trailer for that game. I'm like, man, horror game, stuck in the middle of the ocean. Like, this is the perfect setting. This is just a great setup. Everything is in place for what this could be a really good horror game. And it was just like, credits rolled, and I went, good. I'm glad. I was just glad to be done with it. I wanted to finish it because I knew it was short enough, and I wanted to see, like, maybe I was going to be surprised by the ending and it was going to take me somewhere. And at the end of it, I just could not have been happier to be done with that game. I was like, yep, let's wash my hands of this and carry on. I know, as you said, I feel like I'm the wrong one. I don't know, because I know a lot of people loved it. Your brother loved it. He thought it was this top 10 scariest game he's ever played, or something like that. Even all the heebie-jeebies, but not for me. It did none of the scares.
Gave
Not
you no
really a lot of
heebies
fun.
nor jeebies.
Not a heebie or a GB to be found. That's for sure. So yeah, I would easily say that would be. If I was going to throw an honorable mention, I was going to say Have a Nice Death. And only because, given my play style and games that I play, I just think I could have liked Have a Nice Death so much more. And I don't know what it would have been. So it's really a stretch a little bit. But I think otherwise I probably would have to go with Broforce too. Because Broforce is another one that, while fun on the surface and in a gameplay style that I would like, it gave me the same Still Wakes the Deep of like, when will this game ever end? Like you described,
played like 14 hours of it.
I did. I actually did go back and I actually got a couple of achievements. But when I say I went back and got a couple of achievements, I mean, like, I played for another 30 minutes and I got like 2 or 3 more achievements, because I was like, those are super easy. I'll just go grab them for the points. And I will say, going back and playing it with a little bit more of like an arcade fun to it, I had more fun in that 30 minutes than I probably had in the last like 2 to 3 hours of that game. So if you ever do think about playing Broforce, that's fine. It actually can be fun. Just don't try to beat it in a rapid fire fashion. Like, not even a week. Just pick it up for like an hour, a day, a week, beat it that way, and it can be fun. But don't play too that much of that game. Oh man, it gets less fun.
For me, honorable mention, Lightyear Frontier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I liked it, but the more I played it, the more I saw what was wrong with it, and the more that I wanted more. And so I felt like it really started out high and then just went downhill. So that kind of bummed me out, because I was actually really enjoying the game. And then it's hard, because I remember Chance of Sonar. I went into it not knowing if I would like it, so I feel like I can't give it that. I ended up really not liking it. But Another Crab's Treasure, Andrew, you told me that I was going to like that game, and I did not. So I went into it thinking I was really gonna like, yeah.
I think it was great.
So I think that was like my biggest bummer because like you're usually pretty spot on whether or not I'm gonna like a game, and you were wrong. So I guess that's the main one.
Maybe once none of the crab's treasure or another crab's treasure.
Yeah, there were parts of Lightyear Frontier that I liked, but when it comes to the crab game, there was mostly stuff I did not like.
I would be curious how Lightyear Frontier would be once it comes out.
I actually played it last night.
Oh, is it out of preview now?
No, it's still in preview.
Okay.
But they've added now animals you can farm.
Okay.
And you can actually get 2 people to like move in on your planet. So, but honestly, I was kind of disappointed because I forgot, like, where's Lightyear Frontier on our list? It was pretty early in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, 13.
All right.
So
13, yeah, so pretty early in the year.
Quarter soon.
So it's getting close to a year that it hit Game Pass, and it only looked like they only added kind of 2 major gameplay things. They added 1 new map section, and that was kind of like it. So I was kind of disappointed. There is new achievements. It's up to 1,700 achievements.
Okay.
So I 1,000'd it already. So then I was like, oh, these achievements will get pretty easy to get. Yeah, or else not bad. But Keith, you'll start our next category. Tell us, since we did biggest disappointment, what was your biggest surprise?
Biggest surprise. I think that one's actually pretty easy because this one stuck out to me right away. Liz, you just mentioned it, but Chance of Sonar.
Yeah.
that was a game to me that I went into with a lot of, like, I had no idea what I was getting into. It had the feelings of what I would play, your kind of indie cartoony hand-drawn graphics. I'm just like, all right, cool. I'll see what this game's all about. Looks like it was about some puzzles or whatever. But I freaking loved that game. Like, it was just so much fun. It was a perfect little package of a game. It had touches of things like Tunic, where you had to not necessarily always figure things out, but yours like notepads and things like that were important and could really help you through the game. While they weren't 100% necessary, it added this depth to a game that was otherwise very, very simple. And just, again, having gone into it with no knowledge of what I was getting into, I was just completely surprised. And I remember before we did the episode, I was like, Andrew, you got to play this game. This game's awesome. Whether we do an episode or not, I don't care, but I just think you should play it. It's a lot of fun. And I recommended it to at least a bunch of people on our Discord, and I don't know, on the episode as well. So I would easily say that would be my biggest surprise. As far as games go, I don't know if I really have an honorable mention.
See, I have a lot of honorable mentions in this category.
I think if I were going to, I just was looking at it. It would probably be Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's like, on its surface and how it had been explained, I was like, that seems like it would be kind of fun. And apparently I really liked the first time we played Yakuza. I don't remember. I don't know. I wasn't excited to get into a really like big meaty game, and like, it's like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time. But I ended up just really enjoying all the characters, all the tons of side quests. I actually still haven't beaten it. So that's like, I have
You're
to do
super close.
Yeah, I have like the second to last tower, I think. And I kind of got to that point where I'm just at like that grinding. I'm just like, I don't feel like grinding this out anymore. But I actually do intend to go back and beat it. That's one of those, like, I need to just pick it up and do someday. But definitely a game that, while I didn't see myself liking, I really enjoyed. And then actually, because I just looked down and I saw it, is Indiana Jones. That was one, because, we talked about on the episode, I never watched the Indiana Jones movies. I was never an Indiana Jones person growing up. I wasn't really sure what to make of it, but I actually was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed the gameplay and all the aspects of it. So I would put that as a good honorable mention, I would say, for me.
There were a lot of games this year that I went into knowing I was going to love them. Of course, I mean, like things like Resident Evil, and I knew what I was getting into with like Senua Saga. I will say Persona 3 Reload really surprised me. I think that might be the one, because
I'm surprised.
when I think back, I remember really liking it, and I'm looking at like all the different ones, and I feel like that was the one I was most surprised of. I mean, because like even like Rise, Son of Rome, that's kind of like right up my alley. Rise of the Tomb Raider, of course.
Resident Evil.
I love Resident. I knew I was gonna love.
Oh, you
Resident
knew you were gonna love it?
Yep, and so
Oh.
with Coral Island and My Time at Sandrock. Yeah, I think that's the one that kind of.
You knew you were gonna like Dead Island?
Oh no, do you know what it is? When it comes to zombie games, movies, things like that, I'm always like icked out by it. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. And I always do. So I wasn't surprised because State of Decay 3 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
two,
State of Decay 2.
yeah. I remembered that I liked that one. So I had a feeling I was gonna go into it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. Because remember I liked that one like more than I should have.
Yeah, you really did.
So I think that when it comes to Persona 3, it's the only one I didn't really know what I was getting into.
For me, my biggest surprise, like I said, I have a lot of honorable mentions here. There's a lot I could talk about here. Indiana Jones, these are honorable mentions first. Indiana Jones, I'm giving first because, all I said before, anytime I saw the trailer, I'm like, I don't get what this game is. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, it just seemed meh to me. But then I played it and I'm like, this feels like the movies. This is a really good game. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I have not been a Call of Duty fan. That campaign really surprised me. I really liked that campaign. So, but it was funny. I was listening to that episode and like all the marks we're giving are just like basic, like, hey, you did a decent game for once. Good job, Call of Duty. But it was very good. Tectonica. I'm giving a quick thing on that. It's a game. Its name doesn't tell you anything, but it's very addictive. I'm waiting one day. I'm going to find someone who loves that game just as much as me. It's clearly not this house.
I don't think it exists, Andrew.
Not
I
on
think
this
the people that
podcast.
made it don't love it as much as you do.
That's why they just gave up making it. And they're just like, yeah, I don't know, do the same thing over and over again.
But another honorable mention, Chance of Sonar. I'm with you, Keith. Chance of Sonar. It was a puzzle game that I'm like, I was surprised how much I had fun with this. I know even our listener on our Discord, Kel, he picked it up because we were talking about it and he instantly loved it too. It was a very good puzzle game. But I could keep going with a lot more, but I'll just end it there. My number one pick, your honorable mention, Keith, but Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I thought you and I both loved the Yakuza that we played before.
We did.
So I'm surprised that it surprised you how good it was. Because I was actually kind of bummed that I didn't play it with you guys.
Because it was a different game. Like it turned into a turn-based RPG. And that's the thing. Like I knew I was probably going to enjoy my time with it. But I did not realize how much I was going to love that game. So, like I said, me and Liz, we just had a baby. And when you're feeding a baby, you usually kind of do it with one hand. So either play on your phone or something. So for me, I'm like, if I could find a game where I could play one-handed, that'd be great. That's where Yakuza came in. The cutscenes are like 30 minutes long. So anytime you kind of get to a section, I'm like, cool, I'm going to put the controller down, keep feeding the baby and watch a movie here. Boom. And the story's great. The movies are great. And it was great to be built in this world and these characters. And then the combat's turn-based. So once again, I can play with one hand of selecting the people, what move they're doing, and just take my time with it. It was a game that came at such a perfect time in my life of, having a newborn baby and feeding her. So that's why I was surprised on how much I just love that game.
Well, that and the auto battle function too makes it a very nice one-handed game, if you will. Yeah. And I actually meant to, I meant to mention, but I actually just looked at it and I realized was another really good, I think, honorable mention for me because definitely hit all the surprise markers was Neon White.
Yeah.
Like that was one that I had no idea about. And then I even started and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. And then I ended up really, really enjoying that game. So actually, I put that one in my honorable mentions as well.
For the next category that I want to do, I would like to go around. Liz, we'll have you start on this one, but what was the best story for you?
I know what yours is going to be.
Do you?
Immortals of Aveum.
My God.
That's obviously a joke. Oh, darn it. See, I'm usually so much more prepared, but I
know you're pulling it like me and Keith here. We're just looking at the list and being like,
just wing it. And
we take these awards very serious, Liz. You need to think about it. As me and Keith literally put like 15 seconds in, we're like, okay, sounds good.
I mean, it's the games that because they're not great story. They've been overdone so many times, but like I really like the story in Resident Evil 2 and Dead Island 2, Persona 3 Reload,
Really?
Rise, Son of Rome. I mean, I like the game so much that I did really enjoy the story.
So what's your final one?
Dear.
Is people want to know what the Grabby goes to.
Oh,
What does Liz Grabby go to?
2024. His best
I guess
story Grammy Award goes to.
I'm just gonna pick Resident Evil 2 because I don't know. I don't want to.
Wow, what a softball answer.
Well, because that Rise, I mean, had like the murderous family, and that was a big bummer.
You didn't get to the end though. You didn't? Did you? Of Rise?
No. And then Senua Saga, I mean, that's always a bit of a downer.
Okay, so Resident Evil 2. So really not a downer game, apparently.
Zombie.
Yeah, that's the best story. You pick a generic zombie game.
I'm gonna come up with something better. I went first, and I just.
All right.
Okay, what's your best story? You have more games than me. That's not fair.
I know. Honorable mention. I do want to mention Rise. It's not, it's obviously not going to like shake your world, but it's done very well. In the ending of it, I thought it was very good. But yeah, as Liz joked, Immortals of Avian, I'm going to say that was the worst story. Like we've played some stinker game. It's a good game. I just hated that game story so bad. I started seeing Liz was playing clips of it, and it just them talking. I'm like, oh.
We recorded that episode.
I forgot how awful that game's.
It's the same with I feel like me making a joke about audio with Burnout Paradise for Keith. Didn't they have a lot of butt rock?
Had some good songs though.
Halo 3 is gonna be another album. I actually, like I said, I try whenever we do a Halo game, I try not to give it any awards because it would win. It would win just about every award for me. But yeah, but it just Halo 3 is such a good wrap up to a series. Games usually cannot do a good job wrapping up their series, but Halo 3, it's very good. Well, then they kind of ruined it, made Halo 4. But that's a whole different thing. Another honorable mention, though. No, that'll be it. All right, but my actual award for best Grabby, for best story, for Grabby. Wait, no, honorable. I'll give it to the honorable mention.
So
I know.
I love it. I need to do 10 honorable mentions.
This is the last.
Fun.
Because I was going to give the award, but then I kind of changed it. So honorable mention, I will give Yakuza Like a Dragon. Very good story. Okay. But what I'm going to give for actual best story, it was just, it may not even be the best story, but to me, it just caught me off guard and I enjoyed it. But I'm going to give it to Inscription. Inscription's a very fun kind of card builder deck game, but its overall story was just super cool. And when the game's wrapping up, it gave me emotions for a game that's pretty short and just is a roguelike deck builder. But so that's why I'm going to give Inscription the best story for me this year.
You sure you don't want to list anymore?
Shut up, Liz.
I have about 43 honorable mentions this one. Or 42,
I'm sorry.
rather.
I love video games, and this was a good year. We have some really good games on this list.
Yeah, we do.
I'm assuming my average score at the end is going to be 89 or 90 because we didn't have a lot of Keith stinkers this year.
No, we didn't have the
big
ones.
con or the soccer stories of this year.
We did not have the highest
They didn't
average.
give me any.
Really?
No.
Is it a guest?
No,
Oh. Okay.
Super low. He was with the most episodes after me, which I think he did 10. He would have been the lowest, I think.
All right, Keith. What about you?
So this one, oddly enough, I think I actually had more honorable mentions than I would have expected.
Don't do it. Liz will make fun of you.
Right? I know. So, I mean, Yakuza Like a Dragon, because if you can get a 75 to 100 hour game and keep me invested in the story the whole time and following along and who's who and all of these things, I think that says something, at least. It's just, I don't know. It's really, like Andrew said, it's really well done. There's a lot of really cool aspects to it. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a game. I don't know. Maybe this could say for any of the Yakuza series, but it's the more you play of them, I think the better the story gets because you start to know all these really kind of random side characters. So, because there's recurring people. But anyways, I'm going a long time about an honorable mention. Another one I would have to say is Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. That's another one, condensed into a nice little 10-hour package. It's just the story of that, it's great. And I think there's a lot of aspects that play into why it's so good. But I liked all of it. I was invested. and all of the likes and the things and such. I mean, but I think I have to go with the easiest one on the list here. And Andrew, we had the same idea thing along the lines of roguelike here, of course. And I have to go with Brotato.
For best story?
No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
I was like,
it really,
I can't believe I fell for that. I was literally like, you idiot, there's no story.
I should have let you really get into that.
I know.
I wish I'd prepared for that. But I am staying in the same category because it was going to be Inscription for me too. I think it's, as you were saying, it almost needs its own different category because it's more about the storytelling than the story itself, which I guess kind of goes to be the same little bit of Brotato, but at the same time, I think it's just so wonderfully presented and so interesting that I just I wanted more, but I didn't because I think they just did a perfect job with it. And I know there's also all the, extra AR things and such, but not because I wasn't interested, but I just didn't get into all that because it seems like too much work. So I would have to say Inscription. Just if you haven't played the game, go play the game, then go listen to our episode. But yeah, that's an episode I would absolutely say go back and listen to once you've played Inscription. And I think you'll appreciate everything we were trying to get with that game.
So 2024, wrap it up. Everyone, of course, is coming up with some New Year resolutions. And if you are like me, you have a lot to do on your to-dos list, and you need to get through in order to do your New Year's resolutions. Well, with the month of January, I want to introduce you to a wonderful product. Magic Mind has come out with a mental wealth bundle. So the mental wealth, their whole campaign right now is to mental wealth. With 2025 starting, you need to focus on yourself. And, it's always hard to get into new routines and new habits, but with the help of Magic Mind, I've been taking it now for a couple months now, and it has helped me so much to focus and to actually get up and do my to-do lists. Because if I have 2 young kids, and there's always things that needs to be done. You need to be awake. You need to be able to give your time to your family, but also you really need to paint that living room that your wife's been nagging you about to do. Magic Wealth Bundle will include a 15 supply of their normal Magic Mind shots, but it also comes with 15 shots of their Magic Mind Sleep, which will help you shut down and able to fall asleep faster and get into deeper rest. I will say, I've mostly just been taking the Magic Mind, the regular shots. And the great thing that I love about it is that it gives me focus and energy, but it doesn't make my heart race. I work third shift. It usually keeps me active. I can go, but as soon as I get home, I have no issue sleeping. And if I ever try drinking coffee past midnight, I notice that usually later in the day, I can just still feel my heart racing and I feel like garbage. So with 25 starting, you need to focus on yourself, build up your mental wealth, and take, help. And Magic Mind will help you with the 15 shots to help you through the day and the 15 shots to help you go to sleep at night. The other thing that was great about it, me and Liz just went up to Massachusetts, and it is a great driving aid as well. And because usually I just take big old energy drinks, and it just feel awful. It also makes you have to pee like every 5 minutes.
I was going to say that, yeah. That's why I try not to drink caffeine while I'm doing long.
But just doing a 2-ounce shot of Magic Mind, I was able to stay awake and alert, and it actually made the driving way more enjoyable. Doesn't mean I'll still do all the driving, Liz, but it at least made it more pleasant. But don't just take my word for it. Magic Mind offers a 100% refund. So if you don't like it within the first 100 days, they offer a 100% refund. And it also ships internationally to 65 countries. So all our wonderful international listeners, it's available for you as well. Go to magicmind.com/bagjan, that's BAGJAN, for this special 45% off of the Magic Mind bundle, which includes the shots and the sleep aid. This is only for the month of January. So if you're listening to this, get on top of it now. Get into the new habits of the new year. That's magicmind.com/bagjan. I'm going to probably edit out a lot of that. But so our next category that we're going to end up covering, since we covered the best story, I'll try not to do as many honorable mentions this time, Liz, okay?
Do whatever you want.
No, you're making me feel bad. But our next category, I want to go over what was the best audio. I will say some honorable mentions, Liz, but it won't be as many. First honorable mention, I want to give it to Sifu. Sifu was a third-person action kung fu game. Awesome soundtrack. That soundtrack kicked every time when you're fighting, and it was so good. Another honorable mention is Neon White. Like we said, it's a very fast bullet hell kind of puzzle game that music was just bumping, and it made that game work so well. But for me, best audio, sound design, hands down. I can't believe they didn't get it during the Game Awards, but this is Hellblade 2 Senua Saga. That audio was so good. The voice acting and the music when it hit. Like whenever you did the giant boss fights and the music that did the rhythm with the giants was so good. I loved that game's audio so much. So that very short category list for me, it was my best audio.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keith.
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't often like to say things like Andrew's right, but you pretty much
You have been copying me a lot. So
I really have, but in so many ways, like it's hard to argue with. Like, didn't Senua Saga at least win sound design?
Best performance it won.
I thought there was one
main
for like
actress.
sound design versus music or whatever.
No, I think Astrobot won sound design.
I haven't
something
played that,
really
so I have no context about it. But yeah, I don't know how it didn't win just about every single audio category, because it really is, it's top to bottom, just fantastic audio. It's like you said, it's the music, the sound effects, the performances, the way they design the sound with, and they did this in the first game too, but like the voices inside your head, like especially if you're playing with a headset, it's encompassing, and it puts you in the game. So they do such a good job with it. So it's just, I don't know, I guess that's just a really, really easy one. I think impressive as just kind of as my own separate honorable mentions. I don't know if I would say overall for Indiana Jones, but the guy who voiced Indy just sounded so much like Harrison Ford that I was like, I think that's impressive. So I think that is. Another Crab's Treasure was another one where the sound design was awesome, at least as far as like the music goes. So again, I often overlook music in games so often. It's, again, it's like the 2B joke to the stories for me. But like I just overlook music a lot. And another Crab's Treasure, I like had the soundtrack pulled up. I was listening to it, not just playing the game. It's really fun. And then the ones Andrew said. So that, but yeah, Hellblade 2 is definitely my game of the year, not game of the year, but my best
game of the year,
best audio. Yeah,
Keith already forgot the category.
He did not, because he answered it correctly.
A lot of the games I played this year did not have the best audio. There were some that had good voice acting or, a couple of great songs. But overall, I mean, I have to do Senua Saga. And you already explained why, but it really did just
slap.
Yeah, that's the word.
All right, that was quick, Liz. This one I feel like might be a little more difficult for you, Liz.
Oh, dear.
But next category I want to talk is, what was your favorite multiplayer game this year? Keith, start us off.
This one is me, huh? I feel like we didn't play. Well, we did, but we didn't really do a lot of them. And I mean, pretty simply, because you know me, I'm not a Halo guy, so it's not that. Pal World was a lot of fun, so I would put that as just like a glance over honorable mention. But I think it just has to be Black Ops 6. I mean, Overwatch 2. If there's a game
Overwatch
I love,
2 is so odd.
I haven't picked up Overwatch in probably 5-6 months, maybe less than that. But and I think that's better. I think it's good for my mental health. So but it is such a fun game. If you can play with your friends, if everyone enjoys playing it to some degree, it can be a lot of fun to play. But yeah, I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6, because even playing without parties and just playing random pickup groups, I was having fun with it, and I actually was surprised how much I was enjoying kind of getting back into that.
Liz?
Yeah, for me, it's probably going to be Dead Island 2. That was multiplayer. It definitely was not Overwatch 2. I actually had more fun with Overwatch 2 than I thought I would.
But you didn't give it honorable mention for biggest surprise.
True, because I was listening to the episode getting the scores, and I thought it was funny when you mentioned that somebody had been like calling me out.
Yeah.
And I was like really irritated by it.
It's funny because you didn't even catch it. You didn't even know what the guy was saying.
No, I didn't. But I just thought it was funny listening to the episode that I was just like, oh, I got all riled up. But yeah, that one for me is pretty easy.
All right. For me,
I will say, Lightyear Frontier, it was nice having you help me. Because
I did the watering. Honorable mention, I will at least give to Overwatch 2. I played that game a bunch, but it's such a love-hate relationship right now. I've been playing a good amount of Marvel Rivals, and it's kind of a nice change of pace. I mean, it's still Overwatch, but Overwatch 2 I wanted better, and it just... Another honorable mention is Isanzo. I was surprised how much I liked this game. It was something it was a multiplayer game that I actually had fun playing without people. I will say it's actually been a while since I played the multiplayer portion. Keith, on that episode when you told me you can get the achievements playing with bots, I've just been playing bots and trying to get the achievements. But when I actually did play multiplayer, the game is actually quite fun. What I actually might do for Alec is an honorable mention, but another honorable mention though will be my time in Sandrock. I was really surprised how that multiplayer was like a whole separate campaign.
Yeah.
And it just changed the game enough, but it was still obviously the same game. It was cool. It was a really awesome design. It was very surprising. I thought it was just going to be like Stardew, where it's just like, oh, there's more people on the map. There you go. But no, it was actually like a full-on campaign. It was like, oh, this is cool. But my number one pick, though, I think for best multiplayer.
Burnout Paradise?
Oh my gosh, no. See, I was hoping, I couldn't remember if we did Age of Mythology, but not Age of Empires.
Oh, yeah.
Tectonica, even though, no, I'm just kidding. I won't do Tectonica. My favorite multiplayer I think I did this year is Remnant 2. Remnant 2, I forgot actually, because I was already long in it, but it was going to be a big surprise honorable mention as well. But Remnant 2 is essentially a third-person dungeon crawler, like almost kind of Diablo-esque. I really like that game. It had a lot of really cool mechanics of like your starting world is different from like every person, the procedurally generated maps. That was a very fun game. I had a lot of fun playing with my friends with that game. But I can't wait. Coral Island. I forgot we played Coral Island this year. But they still have not had their multiplayer update. It's supposed to be soon. But it just left Game Pass on PC, but it's still on Game Pass on the console. But I'm assuming it's probably going to leave the console soon, which is unfortunate. But I'll probably have to buy it. Anywho's, next category, Liz. We're going to go over best graphics / art style. Some years we split this into two different categories, but I don't know. Let's just say best graphics.
Okay. Well, I do want to say, because I actually didn't play this. I watched you play it, and I just hate trying to pronounce it. The Quarry.
The Quarry.
Did I say that?
The Quarry.
How do you say it?
The Quarry. That's right.
I can't say it. My mouth doesn't work that way.
Try to say it like a British person. I don't know, but it kind of helps you.
The Quarry.
There you go. I don't know why you did the arms. That just made it very racist.
I really like the faces for the actors that I recognize. I think they did a really good job, and it had a lot of great like spooky atmosphere and stuff. But that's not my winner. Because I feel like I have to give it to Senua's Saga.
Yeah.
Because looking at like I said, I only played 21 games. Like, there were graphics that I liked. Like, I thought Dead Island 2 actually had pretty good graphics. I actually really enjoyed that game. And same with Immortals of Avium a little bit.
Yeah.
I like those graphics. But I feel like I have to give it to Senua's Saga because were they better than Hellblade 2? I don't think so.
See,
I don't want to give it all the awards, but it's also like
I just give it 2. But I'm kind of the same boat. I'm like I kind of want to pick something different to kind of mix things up. And you know what? I think I will, because for me, I'm going to lean a bit more on the art style aspect, and I'm going to say Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. For me, it's a very beautiful game, and the art style is very cool. If you're really into kind of like old Japanese demon mythology stuff, it did a really cool job with its art. And all the combat is kind of dance movements. It's art style. It's what really impressed me. But, I am with you. I think Hellblade 2, absolutely gorgeous.
like technical aspects.
Another honorable mention, though, I will give is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones actually did a really good job. My only complaint about it is some of the NPC character models are pretty bland and generic. But besides that, the lighting in the game, and it just looks and feels like they did a great job with its camera angles, that it even looks like an Indiana Jones movie. So I'm giving that for an honorable mention.
I also, I mean, it's a little bit negative, but I just really remember playing Chance of Sinar, and something about the graphics really,
See, I loved its color
I'm
palette.
gonna say bothered me. Something about the colors and like the way that it was drawn, it just like messed with my mind. It was like I think like the first game that I was like, I genuinely do not want to see these graphics. And it's not 'cause they
Weird.
were bad. It's not because they were bad. There's something about it that reminded me of something that I can't even put my finger on. But like those are my least favorite graphics, I think.
No way.
Core Keeper, because it was just too dark.
Yeah, Core Keeper was very dark.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned Kunitsugami because I had the same thought where I was like, graphically, it wasn't something that was like incredible, but it was the designs of all of the different enemies you were fighting. Just I don't know, something about that game was it was really, really cool from an art perspective to me. The gameplay was fun on top of it, but that's not what we're here for at the moment. So
Yeah, we're not here to talk about games.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we're not here to talk about the gameplay, Andrew. Get it? But no, for this, I definitely was leaning towards that. I think, I don't know, I guess probably an easy one, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's like an easy, that's like graphically, it's just.
It isn't though. I mean, Call of Duty's generally been pretty meh, but like I agree with that. I think that's a good honorable mention at least of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 graphics were really good this year.
But yeah, everything about it was pretty great. I don't know. I think Hellblade 2 is just got to be my answer because even from another Crab's Treasure, I would almost say is an honorable mention in that I liked the way that it was designed because while I didn't fully get as, I kind of gave up on that game because I was just, I don't know, gunning my way through it. so I could have gotten through it, but the art style, and I remember you mentioning like it starts to turn dark, and I could see even some parts of it that it's like it's not this cheery, happy game that it's like looks like. It's telling a different story, and I don't know. There's something really cool about that dynamic that they have with it. But that's just that's an art style thing. I don't know. Hellblade 2, like those giants you face and everything, they're really, really cool, and like that's a game that it held up, and I think that's one of the most important things. Like we saw that cut scene of the giant on the beach in, was it not E3 but like
Xbox Showcase.
Yeah, the Xbox Showcase. And they delivered on that. Like that wasn't just a cutscene. That was truly gameplay. And it just, I don't know, it was incredible. And there's just so many other moments like that throughout the game that I have a hard time not giving it to Hellblade 2.
All right. So coming up to our last couple categories here. We did this as two separate ones. We have a game of the year, but the other one we're gonna go with the other one, which I feel like is probably more of a higher honor. But what game this year could you not put down that we played? So I'm starting with this one. This one is pretty obvious.
Keep it off my living room TV.
So yes, my game I could put down this year is Tectonica. I just have played so much of that game. Liz is sick of seeing it. I'm sorry.
Past subtle hints about.
Because it stinks. All right. Because this is the other thing, or I forgot to mention on the disappointment of the game, because not only is the ending so long, but eventually there's so much that is going on in the game. I can't play it on a Series S anymore. So don't play Tectonica if you only have a Series S or Cloud Play, because apparently when you cloud it, they run on Series S consoles. So it crashes all the time. So I can only play in the living room because that's where the Series X is, and the Series X can still handle it. So I'm sorry, Liz. I want the game to end too. Other honorable mentions, though, Brotato. I've fully beaten that game. I bought the DLC and fully beat that. But once I beat that game, I was done. I didn't care to get the higher difficulties for the potatoes because I got all the achievements. So I'm done. But when I was playing it, I loved Brotato. Brotato's a lot of fun. Another honorable mention I want to give is Dungeons 4. Dungeons 4 is that real-time strategy game where you're summoning evil minions to kill the heroes. I had a lot of fun with that game as well.
I haven't played that in a while.
I know, well, because I did stop, obviously, when I beat it. Once I fully beat that game, I was just like, all right, that's good, I'm done. So that's why it's an honorable mention. Oh, now I remember. I was like, there's one more other honorable mention. I just remembered it now, and that's Yakuza Like a Dragon. as I said, like talking to our, longtime listener on our Discord, Kel, he's been playing all the Yakuza. He, loves these series, and he was the one kind of telling me, it was just like, yeah, there's an end to the game, but then there's like a super hard mega tower that only like 0.2% people have done because it's just really grindy. And he's like, nobody does it. It's a waste of time. I loved Yakuza Like a Dragon that I was like, I want to grind my crew and I want to beat that. I was just having so much fun playing the game. I didn't do it though. I did actually end up giving up. But Yakuza Like a Dragon, I had so much fun with and I didn't want to quit. What about you, Keith?
So that was your final answer. I thought you were
No, my final is Tectonica. Liz, of course, is making fun of me, calling me out because it's just I have put days in that game. It is my Balatro, Keith.
I mean, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, I mean, there's, I don't know, I guess a few honorable mentions, and they're kind of weird because they're, I don't know, I feel like with a certain degree, like a can't put down game is like you're going to put a lot of time into. So that's why I think this only falls under some honorable mentions. But like Chance of Sinar, that was a game that like I just wanted to keep playing. In some ways, it was like a, hey, I just not wanted to get through it, but I knew the ending was close or whatever, that I was just like, I want to play more. But it was just like a puzzle game that would like play in the back of your head when you weren't playing it. And you're like, what if I try this? Or like, maybe I can try and figure this out. Like it just had that type of thing going on. So Chance of Sinar falls under that. I was going to say Yakuza Like a Dragon as well. It's just another one where despite the grindiness of it, like there's just so many different things you can do, and none of them are great. Like there's a kart racing. It is maybe 20% Mario Kart, but it's fun enough, and it's just a complete, just put you on your head of a different style of game as you're playing it. And I just thought that it made it worth playing. Inscription is another one that from like a time perspective, you can really wrap it up in about 10 hours, I think, give or take 10 or 12 if I remember. But then where it has so much more of that roguelike deck builder going on as you get further into it with the end game. Without spoiling it, it's definitely a can't put down game. But I think, I don't know, you put it in your honorable mentions, Andrew. But Brotato, I have all the achievements and I still play it. I have been off for probably about a couple weeks now. But it's a game that from when I was playing, I would go onto the Reddit feeds and I would try and like read different things, and it like pops up in my Reddit feed.
Nerd.
Oh, yeah, I'm a real nerd. I know. Weird. I do a podcast about video games, and that's the thing you're gonna be like that. Hey, this guy's a nerd. That's it. It's definitely the Reddit feed. It's not the podcast or the hours spent in these games. But so it'll pop up and I'm like, man, that strategy does sound fun. I want to try and see if I can get that build. And I'll go on and I'll try like 3 or 4 runs. And I can pretty much limit myself now, but I'll still pick up and play. It's just mindless kind of fun for me, and I really enjoy it. As you said, I'd call it my Balatro because it is, but it's not, because Balatro is my Balatro. And that's another one I've been off for about a week or two because I'm kind of at a love-hate standpoint of where I'm trying to get to and beating it and where I can get past right now. So I'm kind of not always loving it, as they would say.
So wait, what was your number one?
Brotato.
Brotato was? I thought you said honorable mention. Okay. Liz,
Sorry.
what about you?
My couldn't put down is probably My Time at Sandrock. It almost went to Coral Island, but they had that bug in the game that was so infuriating. And
In Coral Island?
Yeah, I had to stop playing.
I thought you didn't get the bug. I got it, and that's why you stopped.
I did, and I would have to skip an event in order to do it, but I'm playing the game for the first time, and I didn't want to, so I was like, so I kept trying a couple days and doing the same day over and over again, and it wouldn't work.
Well,
stop playing.
Coral Island is much, 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 much more stable now.
But you told me it would be, so that's why I stopped playing. So that's why it doesn't get the award, because they messed up, man. But My Time at Sandrock, I felt like even when I was like, I need to stop playing this game, but there's always just one more thing I have to do. Yeah, bring this to this person, build this. There was always one more thing that I wanted to do. And I think I probably put the most amount of time into that one.
Hmm.
Cozy games.
You did.
I mean, a lot of the games that might have been my favorite that were like a little bit stressful, I get stressed very easy. And so, yeah, these were just like, I didn't even have to think about it.
All right. So get into our other big category award here, our game of the year. Keith, you're starting this one, which is great because I don't want you to copy me. I have like 3 different choices I could pick. So depending on what you guys are going to choose, I don't want to copy any of you.
No, I don't want to go second. I want to go last.
Fine, but Keith's going first because I feel like Keith's been copying this entire award episode.
Not on purpose, though. We just happen to agree for once. I have not been trying to copy you. Kind of a very, very light honorable mention, but like I was just talking about, I think Brotato at least has to at least get a nomination from me in the aspect of just, I just put so many dang hours into it and I have fun with it, even though like like the style of gameplay it is, I get frustrated at times, but it's just, it's comfort fun for me. Yakuza is going to fall into, it's an honorable mention. I'm going back and forth on some of these as I go through them a little bit, but Yakuza is going to be an honorable mention. It's another one, just hours and hours of gameplay, things to do, interesting storylines. It's pretty fun, like actual gameplay as a turn-based RPG. So I just really appreciated everything that Yakuza Like a Dragon did. We've talked about it a bunch. Hellblade 2 is another one where I think it's kind of perfectly wrapped up, but I do think playing the first one is important. So not that that's a big deal, because go play both of them. They're both pretty small and easy to play games. They're fun. Yeah. So it's just, but at the same time, I don't know, it's overall good. But I'm going to give it to Inscription just because at my heart, it's a roguelike deck builder. It's a fun one. The storytelling is fantastic. There's puzzles. There's so much more to it than just your traditional roguelike deck builder that you kind of forget that that's what's going on in the game as you play it. So I think it basically backed up every time someone told me to play it. Like I kept hearing, like you had told me to play it. We had like a Patreon episode about it, and I finally broke down and bought it. That was before it came on Game Pass, and I knew that was going to happen. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I supported the studio, the developer. It's a fantastic game, and I'm going to give it my game of the year. And probably because I can't, because Bellatra is not a Game Pass. But otherwise, Bellatra, you have my heart.
All right, so I love you so much.
You should win, my sweet baby.
Okay, so for started off with my honorable mentions. These honorable mentions, all these games when we listen are a must try. You should absolutely play them. Okay? Real quick, Tectonica, you're either going to love the game, you like me, or you're going to hate it. But give it a try. I think the game's great, but it's an honorable mention. Another honorable mention, it was one of the top 3 I was going to pick. But since Keith said it, I'm not going to do it. But Inscription. Don't look up the game, just play it. Inscription is so good. Just play it, okay? Yeah.
Still can't get over Tectonic.
Oh, I don't know why I love the game so much. Okay, I have a problem. All right. But my actual game of the year that I'm going to give, you did as an honorable mention, but Yakuza Like a Dragon. There's very little about that game I could complain about. There's very few people I could not recommend that game to. It's just everything, the whole package. It's just, its story is both tragic but hilarious. Its gameplay is both fun and engaging. It can be a little grindy, but as far as turn-based strategy games go, it's not as grindy as a lot of the others. It's great. Absolutely check out Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's such a unique kind of style of a game too. You don't need to play the other games. It'll help you with some of the side characters, but it's not necessary. It's its own story. It's great. Okay, Liz?
That was
yes.
Oh, okay.
I could go more if it.
Well, it's weird because I'm looking at my top 5, and besides Hellblade 2, none of them are really game of the year material, because I'm looking at, like, I love Rise of the Tomb Raider, but there were a lot of plot holes in that. There was so many holes. And then Core Island and My Time as Sandrock. Do you know what it is? I think I'm just regretting not playing Like a Dragon.
Did I download it for you?
Maybe, but I already have enough trouble playing video.
I think Cloud Play it too.
So
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna give it to Hellblade 2 because I mean I loved my time at Sandrock and Coral Island and they were so addicted to everything, but I'm like it's a game of the year though, you know.
Yeah, your game it was your favorite game this year. That's all it is. You're not saying it's the best game ever. It's just your personal.
I don't know what it would be, so I'll give it to Hellblade 2 because
I mean, that's a good choice. I like Hellblade 2 a lot too.
I think it's a lazy pick.
I forgot to mention my other honorable mention is Indiana Jones. Like, yes, its combat's not like groundbreaking, and it still isn't groundbreaking, but just as a package, it's a fun game, and it came at such a good time. It's like such a simple, mindless kind of fun game with a good story and voice acting that it's a lot of fun.
Is anybody watching this?
No,
Oh,
usually they can, but I didn't put it in our Discord.
I was gonna say we did tie dye on Christmas vacation with the fam. I know you love abbreviations.
What does that have to do with anything of these awards?
I'm just showing that you made this.
Well, you still win the award for best outfit because you are wearing our Discord shirt. All right, final category though. With 2024 wrap it up, let's talk about what are we most excited for in 2025. Does you even have anything for this category?
Yeah, do you know I'm most excited for the first game of the year that I'm gonna do with the podcast. I forget the game that I'm playing because we started before Christmas. But it had cards, right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, because you're like, oh, you'll like this. It's kind of like
For me, my thing I'm looking most forward to. I'm looking forward to Avowed. You know, it's from Obsidian. Obsidian's been killing it. It comes out in February. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But the game I'm most looking forward to is in that same month, and that's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Once again, that's a game that you're either going to love or you're going to hate. It's on super sale like almost all the time. Like the game and all the DLC, it's like $7. Highly recommend you get it. It's a really good medieval simulator RPG. It's a lot of fun. So all I want from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is just the same game, just improved. Because Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 has a lot of jank to it. It's pretty old. Its combat isn't very good. It's like, it just doesn't flow well. But I just want those things improved, and I will love Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And then, of course, Grand Theft Auto 6, if it comes out this year. A lot of people are thinking it's not even going to come out this year. But man, when that game comes out, it's going to be good. What about you, Keith? You excited for Balatro 2?
I mean,
The Balatroing?
so I mean, there is they have announced that there's supposed to be like a gameplay update for 2025. That could be December. They haven't given an actual date yet, but I assume that's going to be some sort of DLC. Yeah, I am actually pretty excited for it. Won't be Balatro 2, but yeah,
It'll be Balatu.
no, it won't. But yeah, I don't know. You know me, I don't really keep up with what's coming out unless it's like next week. So
Solid.
I'm bad about that. That's what I just play what's in front of me. I'm like, all right, cool. This is what's on Game Pass now. I'm gonna go look.
But then, I guess real quick, I guess this is mostly gonna be a discussion between me and you, Keith. What was your favorite game that wasn't on Game Pass that we didn't cover? That's not Balatro. Please do not.
Dang it!
I've mentioned Tectonica enough.
you mean you can't say what's your favorite and then say this can't be your favorite.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, Andrew. I mean, I was super pumped for NCAA, college football when that came out, and I played that for a good chunk. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously Balatro. I did find out. So you haven't figured this out yet. I found out DPS Idol 2 is on Steam for free right now.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's worth checking out if you want to waste hours.
Liz, you actually have a game for this. What was your favorite on Game Pass game you played this year?
Well, a Stardew on you?
No, it's on Game Pass.
Then no, what is it?
Our Child's Tablet.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's this like pet adoption game that my daughter needed help with because you have to read it and tell them what pet to take care of and stuff. But when you download on your phone, there's so many like paywalls and ads that are like a minute long. And I was like, absolutely not. And I felt really silly playing anyways. And you downloaded it on my phone. I would not have done that because I was a little embarrassed that I liked it.
It's called like My Pet World Rescue or something like that. Liz is like, this game's great.
And I deleted it real quick because I was like, how much time can I waste on those ads?
It's why she has not been on this podcast. We say it's because of our new baby, but she's just been playing that game too much.
You say that, but at Christmas time, you gifted me a graphic novel, and I got like 5 or 6 books that I was gifted. The people don't want me on the podcast. They give me so many books. But I read the graphic novel already. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. But yeah, my favorite game, I guess, that wasn't on Game Pass. I replayed Kingdom Come Deliverance, the whole campaign. I played on the hard difficulty, but I probably wouldn't say that because, I still got burnt out a little bit by the end there. Liz got me Hogwarts Legacy for my birthday. I've been playing a good amount of that. It's actually a lot of fun. I will say the beginning is so boring. It is like, I want things to kind of get going here a little bit. There's some of the dialogue is super cringy too. It's a lot of exposition of just like, hey, remember you can use ancient magic. Did you remember you use ancient magic? Hey, ancient magic. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, stop repeating this thing over and over again.
I'm just surprised that you had it on your wish list because you're not like what do they call them? Potterheads?
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Potterheads is definitely
Potterheads.
What? That's what they call Harry Potter fans.
I don't think so. Just sounds like you're calling me a pothead.
I thought that was really a thing. I'm a fan of Harry Potter. I haven't played the game, but yeah, a Potterhead. It's the Harry Potter series, the first or the Wizarding World franchise.
Okay.
Listen, the internet can't lie. So if you found it on Google, I mean,
listen, I like Harry Potter. Do you like Harry Potter, Keith? How many books have you read? How many movies have you seen?
First, I read the first one and I watched the first 3, 4, something along those lines.
Books are always better than movies, Keith.
I don't disagree. I watched again because I can say that I read the first one and I watched the first one, but
I would know
the book
if
was better.
Potterhead was a thing because I've read all the books. I watched some of the movies.
Well, are you a Potterhead? Because if you were
No.
a Potterhead, then you would definitely know.
But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Been enjoying Marvel Rivals, but I don't know if I'd say that was my favorite. I guess, yeah, my favorite was just Hogwarts Legacy. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here. What a great year.
What do you mean? We have the averages and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the fun part.
You just looked at my notebook and
Get
then
to
we're
the
like,
best
we're
part.
going to wrap it up.
Liz, of course, being on this episode, did her homework. Yeah, it's crazy. Because Liz was like, oh, I'll just copy the scores down. I'm like, we have not been keeping track of these scores.
Well, I did the first half of them and then you helped me with some of them. But looking at the game or pass, Andrew, you played 44 games this year. And I didn't know
I mean, that's all of them, right?
the Call of Duty beta. So technically you played a game twice.
Yeah.
But I didn't include that. You gave 37 games and 6 passes. So you have an 86 game rate of recommending a game.
Yeah.
Keith, you did 43 games. 31 of them were games, 11 passes. So 74% of them you gave a game. 17 out of 21 I gave a game. So I was at 81%.
Oh.
It's pretty good with all 3 of us. We mostly like the games.
Yeah. Like I said, this was a good year.
Averages. I have the highest averages, the highest scores. I got 85.57 as an average score. You're in second with 83.41.
I'm surprised.
And Keith, in last, 80.38. But our top 5, these are not going to be shocking. But Andrew, Senua Saga Hellblade 2 at 95. Tectonica, 95. Okay, how do you pronounce it? Sifu, 94.
Sifu was great.
Halo 3, 93. And then you have a bunch at 92. Remnant 2, Dragon, Inscription, Indiana Jones, and the Great Circle. Keith, Senua Saga, 94. Encryption, Fallout 4, Overwatch 2, and then you have a bunch in the number 5 section.
Really, Fallout 4?
Yeah, you gave it 91.
You like Fallout 4 that much? Wow.
Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Chance of Sonar tied at 5. So your range was between 94 and 89. And then for me, my top 5, Coral Island, My Time at Sandrock, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Hellblade 2, and Dead Island 2.
Man,
So we have some same ones in there, but also some that are very different.
yeah, your top 5 are kind of all over the place.
Yeah, they are. Bottom 5. Andrew, your worst score was a 50. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, it's deserved.
Broforce, Lightyear Frontier, Mortals of Avium, and then you have a ton in number 5. You gave so many a 75.
Oh, really?
The original this year. Still Wakes the Deep, SteamWorld Dig 1, Mafia, Dicey Dungeon, Jusant, and Burnout Paradise all have the same score.
Yeah, I could actually, I'm literally like, yeah, I could rate all those games the same. So I think my rating's good.
Isanzo was your worst game. Then Broforce, Burnout Paradise, Lightyear Frontier, Immortals of Avium, and Stalker 2. And then mine, Chance of Sonar, was my lowest. I gave it a 73. Jusant, Another Crab's Treasure, Burnout Paradise, and then Dungeons 4 and Overwatch 2.
And
So
I said you didn't like Dungeons 4.
I didn't dislike it. It was a 79.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Your lowest score is 73.
I was feeling the games this year.
Yeah.
So I didn't play a lot of them, but I was enjoying them.
What did it for Isanzo?
68.
Okay.
Yeah, because you didn't want to go
was
69 because
nice.
you're like, it's not nice.
Well, also,
Not nice.
I mean, factor in human error.
I love that, Keith. I love that you beat Broforce and you gave it a 69. Like, you didn't like the game, but you put the hours in it. It's that, to me, that was the weirdest one for you.
Yeah. To me too.
I want to know the listeners' thoughts, their game of the year, or least favorite game.
Yeah. Please tell us in the comments, either on Spotify or our YouTube. We have this on YouTube. We have the full list on the screen as well. Or, like I said,
Most of the
you
time,
can pull up on our
sometimes I'm
Twitter.
moving it around,
Yeah,
zooming in and out. I think it's all there.
but it's all there. Yeah, so if you want to see this on our YouTube, go check it out. Thank you all so much for a wonderful year. Thank you so much to our Patreon members, helping us keep going. All the support you guys have given us. This has been a bit of a rough year for us. Having a baby got things mixed up a bit. We're still trying to kind of get in the flow of things. Things are being a little bit choppy and rocky. Liz hasn't been able to consistently been on. But thank you all to our wonderful guests, too, who have come in and helped us out. It's been...
A list of them.
Yeah?
Can I give a shout out?
You can.
Okay. So, and I hope I didn't forget anybody. Like I said, human error. Javier, Donnie, Aaron, Amanda, Nave, Cal, Aaron from Superpod, and Tony.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people that helped us out. Did I say one of them wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, thank you all so much for, like I said, for all your support. We've been doing this for years, and I still feel like we're awful at this, but you guys, have been motivating us, and we have a great community. Thank you all. Please join us on our Discord. We are on there a lot. We love talking to you guys, sharing memes of video games, talking about what we're playing, upcoming plans. Love getting the live action feedback too from the people on Discord.
The art
yeah.
channel, that's really cool. People sharing their art and stuff. I like.
Yeah.
Because I don't do art and stuff, so
yeah, I'm
like
not artistic. But so yeah, our Discord, it's go to GamePassGrabBag.com or go to our link tree that's on our Twitter. It'll bring you there. Come join us, say hi. But thank you guys all for such a wonderful 2024. Not you, Keith. Kind of got sick of you. But please come back, Liz. Sick of doing this with Keith. And make sure
he's always on a third.
And make sure you go to magicmind.com/bagjan and get a 45% off the Magic Mind bundle. This is only for the month of January, so check it out while supplies last, or while time lasts, because that's how time works. I've been your hardcore gamer, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. I always love saying hi, playing games with people, so come on by. Keith, this is your final words for 2024.
I've been Keith. Well, this is going to be, there's no way around it. This is going to be after 2024. So, have a good 2025.
But it's still like the wrap up of it. It's us putting it to bed, putting a stamp on it.
Well, either way.
It's already wrapped up, but now we're stamping it.
Have a good 2025. I give this episode 3 stars.
out of
5.
no.
0.2.
Is it because Liz is here?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, am I the dud?
No, you added the 0.2, Liz.
Cool. I'm the new.
Wait. So I added the 3 stars and she added the 0.2. Is that what you're saying?
Crap, no, because the 2.2 is at the 5. That brings the score down. No, Liz, you added 2 stars to this. Me and
Okay.
Andrew are only half of one. There you go.
Take it. There's a new gamer tag coming on Dean. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at LizNoobIsEW. Andrew, did you draw that car?
I did.
I'll take a picture of it and put it on.
Why, you like it?
On that. Yeah, I do. Also, I took a picture earlier when we were recording because Andrew has this giant, cute chipmunk eating berries in front of mushrooms, just like right in front of me. So distracting.
All right.
So cute.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. And we'll see you next year.
Hey.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. So, anything you want to say?